Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
And T.
Listen, y'all, we was having a heated conversation. Not heated, but informal conversation about dating phases and commitment phases and marriage phases. And we basically just said that this new generation is just fucked up. The game has got all fucked up. It's got all twisted. It's just fucking crazy.
It's,
And
it,
so,
there's a lot of pieces missing today that used to keep it anchored down. Let's put it like that. Like you remember here that I don't want to say you would like date in a group, but like you couldn't go on a date by yourself, right? Like
yes.
there were certain points in time where it was like, no, you got to go with your sister. She wants to go on a date. You want me to go? What? What?
Yep. Yep.
I don't want to go out on a date with her mom. Like that's her date. She's like, no, you better, because she's not able to get in the car by herself. So you had to go on a date with your sister. Like that was so awkward. I had to go on many too because I was the little sister. So
Oh,
I'm like,
so
that's
so
so.
you had to deal with all the fuck shit. You had to deal with all the shit that went on
Oh
during
my
dating.
god, I did, and I had to go because if not, they was gonna talk shit to me. So I'm like a professional third wheeler. If you didn't know that, yeah, I'm like a professional one, and I think a lot of little sisters might can also attest to that. Like, no, we're professional third wheelers. We got this. We're here. Hey,
And that kind of stopped the dude from thinking about anything else because he ain't just him and her. It's
yeah.
the little sister right beside you too. So damn, that killed anything you were thinking about doing with her later on.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least you tried to, because they would get creative. So now they got a little cousin themselves or a little brother. Don't bring me no friend. Please don't. No, because I don't like nobody. How about that? Remember the little, I got to play my part. It can't, that's my part. I got to try, but every so often one might catch an eye. What the shit? It's like,
That's true. That is so true. And like I said, it's just now we
yeah.
went from that very structured situation back when we were growing up, more structured. It was structured when you was growing up. It was more structured when I was growing up. Because you're right. No dude could pull up to your house and blow the horn.
Okay, before he got to pull up to your house, he had to call your house phone and he had to ask your mom if he could even talk to you or your dad, depending on some households, dad didn't answer the phone, especially African American households. Dads just refused to answer the phone in some homes. So it was like, what? How I look like? Y'all better answer the phone. He be sitting right there, phone just like he's not
That's true.
work here. Like he owns this. Like, no, receptionist better answer. Um, so moms would answer phones and don't let an aunt answer the phone, man. Whoever it is, can I please speak to and then you had to go through it, and then they had to figure out who you were and where they know you from, and yeah, if you can't get through that little loop, you certainly wasn't allowed to pull out. Where are you pulling up to? Oh no.
That is so true because especially if they know your peoples, if they
Mm-hmm.
say, you been mad where?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his people. So now they really go now they're gonna start digging. You don't realize they're digging, but they're gonna start digging.
Because you wasn't allowed to hang out with people you didn't know from nowhere. There was that used to be a thing too. You don't know those people from nowhere. That used to be a phrase growing.
It's true. I don't know them damn people. Where the hell you found them from? I just go to school with them. I don't know them damn people. You know them? Then they're calling everybody because back then they pick up the phone, call other people, other aunts.
Yep.
You know this his last name or her last name, and you know them. And then somehow eventually, oh yeah. Now if it's oh yeah, they're good people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, run the fuck away from them. So
Mm-hmm.
at that point, when you got that answer, oh no, that girl ain't good for you. Her
Yeah.
family bad. Now what the hell her family got to do with her? Now,
I like
granted, she's part of she's part of the family.
never falls far from the tree. And even if it shows its colors later on in life, that's why you need the elders to weigh in. And when you're young and you just like eyes are just like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. Them elders be about to go upside our head. Like, don't close your eyes. All googly eyed and stupid. You know nothing about those people. You know nothing. Man.
It's true. That
Man.
is so
That,
goddamn true, T. Oh my God. And they
yeah,
had no cut card. There
yeah,
was no now again, was if they went through everybody and realized who they were, they didn't like them, and in your head you're like, "Yo, I still want to date her." You
mhm.
better fucking find a way to date her that they didn't know nothing about. Because
And
if
you,
they told you no, and that family is fucked up, and you, I don't want you dealing with them, and you like, I still want to talk to her. Now, y'all gotta get creative, and you gotta go somewhere outside where you think most people will see you, and it's because back then we had cell phones, but they
yeah,
will call somebody or ring somebody. You that boy out here with that girl? Because we at that point everybody knew who she was. When they said he out there with that girl. Oh
yeah,
no, the hell he ain't.
yeah, because that girl was gonna ruin his life. Okay. And just for everybody who's watching and listening, most of the times when your parents say, "Oh, that person gonna ruin your life," like,
It's they were fucking true, y'all. They were true. I mean, you were mad because you are all emotionally involved with it because you're like,
yeah,
damn, my parents tell me that she look how
yeah,
fine she is. Look at this. Fuck that. They don't give a fuck about fine. They know
yeah.
about crazy. And if the
Or
family
unhinged, not put together. For certain grandmothers, it's like that's not an unkept woman. She's not going to keep your children up. Like they see things that your young brain just doesn't see. And we were all there. And you saw it with maybe yourself, you saw it with your girlfriends, you saw it with the guys you were coming up. I don't know how many guys around the way. One of my cousins kept calling it. Oh, that's not his baby. Oh, that's not, I don't know who he involved with. Girl, that's not. And I'm like, how does she know? But she was spot on. She was like, no, no. Because some of these women are liars in, real life. And the men, lots of the men are liars.
no,
So,
no shit, T. Men
yeah,
lie?
yeah.
Women lie?
No,
No.
men lie. Men lie more. Okay. Just for that's we're gonna set the record and keep the record where it should be, right? Men lie the more, but women do lie. Yeah, I don't want to admit it too often. Gosh.
Now, T, let's be honest. Now, if the men lying, they gotta be lying and dating another woman. So I mean, she gotta be lying too.
Yeah, nah, but she's not lying as much.
Okay, okay, y'all. Yeah, it's a different game out here. I mean,
Right. And the elders know because moms and dads. I'm sorry. You're going to have sons and daughters. So after you have your little journey and you have your little cycle where you're young and you're ripping and running, then you sit there and you watch your children, rip and run. So you don't just get to see it full front. You get to see it from a bird's eye view also, and then you still weighing in because you're present for a whole nother generation. So when the elders weigh in, and they be like, mm-mm, that's because they're like, mm-mm, they done seen that a time or two again, not just in you, but in your cousin and your mama and your daddy and a few generations over.
absolutely, absolutely.
Delusional.
And I think, see, the biggest problem is people think, you don't understand. You don't understand how we feel. No, motherfuckers, we understand because age has nothing to do with growth. And what I mean by growth is, at one point, your parents were 20 years old and
Yeah,
out in them streets, as you said, ripping and running.
they were just,
So, of course, they understand. They can't relate to the era. Yeah, the era changes, but the emotion is still the same. At
yeah,
20, when you're 20, you're looking at as guys, if we can talk to you, we're gonna talk to you. We may have to talk to a couple people. If listen, we're unsure. We don't know. T, we don't know. But just out there, we're out here getting them vibes, trying to feel who loves us, who we love them, they love us, and if we can feel it, we're gonna feel it. That's just how we roll. That's how we roll, baby. That's how
very,
we are. We're young. We don't know.
in a very nice present the way you presented that. Oh my, I like that. If you gonna feel it, y'all gonna feel it. Respect. Thanks for sharing that. And like we gonna circle that right back to what if the elders speak, y'all better listen because they're not, pushing you in the wrong direction. Man. Like
No, they're really
we
not.
just in love, and it feels so good, and it's such a rush, and you're just like, oh my, and I'm nobody's ever gonna make me feel like this ever again, and it's you got butterflies in your stomach, and you can't sleep at night, and I don't know what the men feel, you know. I assume they have butterflies too, but they might have. Do y'all like have different sets of butterflies for different women? Does it get hit from all like? How does that work? I'm
You know,
curious.
when I can speak when you're young. When you're young and you're new to the game, you're a teenage. You get your feelings, you get all that bubbled up. So it's, for men, it's more like, damn, I really like her. I like how she look. First of all, it's always how she looks.
Of
That's the
course.
first thing on grab, how she looks. And then you start smelling good, start dressing good. You're like, damn, I may have to go holler at her. Because now you start thinking like, and we're not really thinking. I'm speaking for probably a good set of men. We're looking for marriage. We say at
Okay.
17, 18, we're not. We're looking for marriage. We're
Yeah.
looking for, can you be a friend? Can I hook up? Can we spend some time together? Get to know you a little bit more. And then, and of course, we're always looking for them draws. So it's not, I mean, I ain't even going to pretend like it's all
Part of the hook.
hunky-dory and beautiful and butterfly. Fuck that. We still going to look for them draws. So if you find you smell good, you look good, and you smart, shit, I got to get them draws. I'm going to try to get them draws.
Semi-smart. The semi like why does smart count? I don't get it. Why does smart count?
I guess it depends.
Oh,
Depends on women. I mean, is she fine? You say, damn. Then you try to test her intelligence. If she a little smart, like, damn, she's smart and intelligent. So then you're thinking, well, maybe if I fuck around with her, not now, but maybe down the road, if this works out, she could be possible marriage material. Don't know. Don't know yet. But I'm just saying, I want to have a baby by a dumb chick. Why I want to do that? I want to have a baby by a dumbass chick. Now my life is fucked up because oh man, you don't got this dumb bitch pregnant. How the hell did you do that? So then you got to hear from yourself because you'll be doing cuss yourself out and everybody around you. How the hell did you get that dumbass girl pregnant? Did I tell you about condoms? Did I tell you about all the other shit you need to do? And then you got to hear that shit. That's why you like if she's smart, you know, you may put it. You ain't ready yet. We're never ready to get married. There's very few people, men, that I know. I'm 18 years old. I think I want to find a married. I want to get married to someone. I don't know. I never knew many guys like that.
you
As time goes on, you find them. But
got me in tears.
there's, there's very few people that I know, hint, hint, that could get married
Mhm.
in their teenage years and be happy with it.
Okay. True that. True that.
Most people, no, we're not like that. Most guys aren't like that. We just try to, we really try to figure out because again, you don't want to get tied up with someone that could cost you your life in a weird sort of ways. And what I mean by you mess around, have a kid, and you tied with her for the rest of your life. And you go back and think 20 years back, like, what the hell was I thinking about when I had sex? Why I didn't use a condom? And I got to deal with her. And y'all don't even date each other anymore, but you got the kid and you stuck with her. And that's why a lot of guys say to me, like, I wish if I could go back, I wouldn't even have sex with her. Okay, that's a lie. You
No,
would. It's like, come on now. You would. The problem is you wish you had more protection. Then you wouldn't have got caught. And that's why and I tell them, I said, don't regret the decision. Your kids are your kids. But you made a decision. You love your kid, but
mhm.
that's why you need that's why we try to tell the young ones, always protect yourself. Because the last thing I hate to see is we met 1 week and I got pregnant next week. How the fuck is that possible? You don't even know this person. How the hell you gonna get pregnant by them? You don't know if they're a serial killer or what.
No, because it's the feeling. We gotta go off the vibe. Remember, these this generation go off the feeling and the vibe. Like, mm-mm. And
It's just
so
crazy to me,
they
T.
just got the the handle. They don't even.
Saw your pictures, girl. Damn, you look good in them pictures. Woo, I saw your pictures too. You look good in your pictures too. And
Mhm.
next boom.
And then you link up, and they was vibing, and the feeling was good, and next thing you know, you sitting there trying to figure out who the daddy is. It's him. And he's talking about some how you know it was me. Well, you're in the pot. I tell you that much. You're one of the few could be it. Yeah.
And
Uh,
that's the other thing, T. How the hell would they do get pregnant? Oh well, it gotta be him because based on this calendar, because I was
yeah.
ovulating on this day and I had sex with him on this day. Oh, I've got my ex-boyfriend that day, and then I had sex with him, so it can't be this one.
How you? No, you saying it like you don't believe it. You saying it like you don't like it. That's what you're saying. It like you don't like the ovulation calendar. Are we saying it's not accurate? Now, here's the thing about the ovulation window. Okay, the window for the woman ovulating is it's not that very large, many days, right? A few days
Mhm.
after, right? How many women? How many men you slept with right after that? Like
That right there, that's what I'm talking about. If you got a calendar and you can tell, you can put on the goddamn calendar. I slept with my boyfriend this day and this day. And then I slept. Oh, my ex-boyfriend slept on that day. And that's my boyfriend. It's gotta be him because I slept with him more times than I slept with my ex-boyfriend. Why the hell you sleep with your ex-boyfriend in the first place? He's your ex-boyfriend. So what the hell? And y'all got no kids. So why the hell you sleep with him?
because he had came by the house and I was hungry and he had got me something to eat and then we was just chilling. It's always an excuse with the exes. The exes are the easiest in. And it's the saddest piece because it's like, why did this fucker even show up here? That's always how I go down. It'd be like, why did this show? No, because I still hate him. And then let that joker be the baby daddy. You mad, super mad. It doesn't matter if any of those people on the list that you're going to be mad because you ain't really was wanting to mess with none of them. None of them was serious about you. That's the sad part. There's 4 or 5 jokers on the list and none of them taking you for serious.
And therein lies the issue with dating. Nobody really knows how to properly date. And we had talked about how our, the old school uh, people would basically size up who you're dating and run a check on you. They'll go out there. We didn't know the computers back then. They knew everything before you could even walk in the door about that person you're about to walk in the door with. And it would tell you everything about that damn person and then some. And they had no swipe left or swipe right. It was like call this or call that person and they'll find everything. And then at that point, when they tell you people, it's crazy enough, as T said before, 9 times out of 10, they were right. You just
Yeah,
don't want to listen to them. But, you're like, oh, well,
it,
what do you know about love?
it just didn't come out immediately.
Nope.
That's why some people, you have a little 3 year situationship and it falls apart. You got married and it lasted for 5 years. It was nice in the beginning, but it fell apart because you didn't really listen to, the characteristics that the older people were telling you that that person possessed. And it's not like, anti male. It's not like, oh, mom just going to weigh in and tell you something about that man. It goes both ways. Mom's going to weigh in on to her sons and daughters and say, "Whoa, it's some characteristics about that young lady that I don't like. It's some of the ways that their family moved and has been moving for many years that you know I prefer our family to just not even be involved with that type." And if you're not willing to actually listen, at least hear them out properly, then you don't even know to like protect yourself from it, or to bring it up to kind of prevent anything that they're mentioning. Because especially when we're young, we don't hear it much at all. We just because there's so many things for us or ways for us to just kind of do our own thing nowadays.
Hmm.
Really have to be around too many other people. They'd like, stay out of my business. It's easy for you to keep your business just to yourself. That's just the time.
And that's true, T. And the thing is, but if you don't have anybody really telling you what to look for a person, because they won't just say like the obvious thing. They'll just say, hey, this family has a particular way of handling stuff, and and if we as us as young people, they don't hear that shit. All I know is like just give me a thumbs up. Let me go and holler this little honey dip over here. Let me do what I get like for girls. I don't want to hear that. We go over and holler this brother over here and see what we can do. But nowadays they don't have that, as we said. They don't have that. They have to swipe. That's the thing. They do swipe left and right, and then all of a sudden, oh, I love him. He's my knight in shining armor. You don't even know this dude. You don't even know this chick. You don't even know the process of dating, how long you should be dating someone before you start even thinking about, oh, I'm gonna have his baby, we're gonna get married. That sounds all fine and dandy. But as we both know, that's the reality. That's not the reality. I mean, we were talking before, some of the date stuff that we just see online and stuff. It's just the one thing I'm gonna say about dating, y'all. I will start here.
There you go.
Ladies, ladies, if you have kids, please feed them before you go on your first date. Please don't have your first date buying you and your three kids food. And you know what I'm talking about. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about.
What
Who
you
the hell goes
know
take
this now, sir? I don't know nothing about this. I don't know nothing about this life. I don't
this? I was this
I saw the
brother.
video. I saw
You know, it's amazing. If he didn't take it, if he didn't shoot this, I thought he was lying. I thought it was a skit. But this was a logistic, a real lady who really was like, okay, yeah, I want this, but my kids like chicken wings and they love roast beef and can you take this to go? And he was like, wait a minute, how many plates? Something? They eat a lot, so I take out three kids. Okay, yeah, I got three kids. They're hungry. I ain't feed them. I gotta bring them something back. That man said, oh no. Hold off on those three meals. It was just us. And it was the first date.
hmm
Not the third, 10th, 20th. He met the kids, first date. Ain't no dude gonna buy no damn food for you and your kids. My thing is, why you didn't feed the kids before you went on the first date? Why I gotta pay for them? They ain't my kids.
I mean, here's the this is just my part of it. And look at your face already. Look at your face. I didn't even say nothing. I didn't even say anything. All I'm saying is that there are men who are out here who would feed your children if you needed your children to be fed. Okay. However, this woman lacked total decency. Okay. It wasn't a matter that her children like actually need to be fed and her children were in a slow situation. Because if your children are in the situation, why are you out on a date? He'd be like trying to figure this life out. That's weird. Okay. So she just literally there trying to take advantage of this guy right to his face. And so it's really like, what type of man are you? Are you about to be a gump in life? Or I guess I call them simps now. Or,
Hmm.
are you about to like literally leave? Because the cue there was to just get up and leave. He didn't even have to tell the waiter to do nothing with the ticket. No, ma'am, does not. And just remove himself because I couldn't have possibly. I would have took it as disrespect. Me personally, really sitting here trying to play inside of my face like I'm a man without a spine. Okay. And so by that, I don't mean no disrespect, lady man. So I'm gonna leave it right here because if I say what really needs to be said, I'm gonna respond to just with and yeah, so he just needed to get up out of that situation. But like I don't know who in this world needs to be told that if you're dating, you know, what type of man you about to involve yourself with, where you're presenting yourself and you can't take care of your children. Like that's a weird concept to me. They're not able to I'm not saying that a man is not supposed to come into your life and, you know, he's not supposed to do anything for your children. Because that just becomes weird at that point, right? If we're just like a family, then we take care of each other. But
Hmm.
freaking dinner, the first date, dinner. I don't care any date. And truth be told, if they're my children, I'm not gonna ask not even gonna ask their father if I can order food for my children. Because what do I look like? They're my kids, and I do what I want to do for like with my children, and I already know that they're taken care of because they're mine. So what do I look like asking anyone else in this world if I can feed my children?
Hey,
Like,
I thought the same damn thing. I mean, god damn. I mean, to me, it sounded, well, it really sounded even worse because it's almost like you like I got this date going on, and mommy gonna feed me. Listen, I ain't got time for that. I gotta go get this man. I grab something for you at the date, which
No.
further tells me that that
Two,
just
three
sounds
hours later,
crazy.
get to eat 2, 3 hours later after you eat dinner. Where they do that at? Where? That's not that couldn't have been the rationale. Like that was just, she she's into Gump type of man. Like she needs a man to take advantage of because she's used to being taken advantage of. So now it's like, no, it's my turn, to take advantage of people because I couldn't keep my boundaries proper. I couldn't tell men no when they needed to have been told no. I couldn't walk away in situations where I was supposed to walk away. So because I didn't protect myself properly and I was taken advantage of, now I'm gonna live the lifestyle where I, just don't care and I'm gonna take advantage of other people. And that's pretty much what that shows.
Damn,
Because she wasn't there to find a man. I mean, she literally said she wanted 10 meals for 3 children.
come on now.
And this is in addition to their own meal. And I'm not saying that the man couldn't afford it, but it's just like, what type of man in real life would spend all of his money in one place? Like that's dumb, bitch. I'm not dropping that amount of money here. Like what? We're here for a quick meal and 2 drinks. Like, and let's like, what are you doing? Let's talk. Let's see where the night goes. We're supposed to be starting. You finished it. Like what to go? Who's carrying all of these meals to the car? 10 meals. It's like we went grocery shopping.
Exactly.
Not realistic anymore.
Oh my God. I
And if I started, I'm gonna have to keep it up. So I can't possibly carry any of the bags to the car. You have to carry them, right? You paid for it. Like, yeah, I have to keep this. I have to keep this up. So now you looking crazy, fumbling all these bags, and I'm only carrying a drink in my hand. You know, you would have to feel disrespect. If you don't feel disrespected by then, it's no help for you. It would be
no.
for you.
No, and that is the truth. T, that what you say is so true. And the thing is, I looked at it as you here trying to get food from this guy for your 3 kids.
Hmm.
Where the 3 baby daddies at? Or the one baby daddy? I don't even know. But that ain't
Well,
my responsibility.
well, this came up in a few conversations that I've had, and a lot of the men felt like she was not just trying to feed her children, but she was trying to feed another man as well. Like
Oh,
food to go, like, oh, let me order a meal to go for my son, or let me order a meal to go for my kid. Technically, there's a man at home waiting for them, and they're just bringing that food home. Yeah. So that's why the men are so anti it. Like, I'm not feeding her man at home. And it's like, sir, if you feel like you're out on a date with a woman who has a man at home in the background, like, why are you still even here? Like, it's even more crazier. Oh,
it
yeah.
really is.
Yeah. They
Oh
made me
my,
go there. I can't believe, yeah. I was hoping it was a skit. I'm not even gonna lie. I was hoping
I
it.
I was too, and I kept everybody was like, no, it's not skit because the guy came out and said, no, she was serious about it. I rolled out. I didn't pay for nothing. I said I wouldn't either. That's just crazy to me. But
Yeah,
I got one for you though. I got another one for you.
let's go.
Woman came on. She said, I was going out on a date and I
Mhm.
told a man I'm gonna bring my 8 kids to the date.
Yeah, it's like they're kids.
And I was surprised when I got there. I told him where we are gonna be at, and when I got there, he never showed up. I was like, "Oh, come on!" She had the nerve to put her information on it. I was like, "Oh, no, you didn't." I don't know why men like act like that. First of all, lady, there's no man walking the face of the earth unless he's a true simp to the bone that's gonna have you bring you and your 8 kids to a date, and you feed everybody. First of all, lady, you got 8 kids, 8, not one, not two, 8.
What car?
So it's
What,
crazy.
yeah, how they get? What car was they in?
I, they must take a bus. They had to take a bus because no way you get 8 people and 9 people,
It's
including
the
her.
8 plus her, so she need a 9 seater. That's a
Obviously,
that's a
obviously, she was in a sedan when I saw her, but she was in the car, and she was in the car. She was in a sedan. And he said he didn't want to, he didn't even show up.
no.
Why would he show up?
These kids are too many different age groups. By the time you have 8. And the older kids is at home watching the younger kids when you want to date, or sit your ass at home until these younger kids grow up, because we can't help this situation. Like, either your mother needs to come here and watch these children, or you need to hire a nanny, like a little sister, like a little cousin. We don't know, but this is dumb. And he's right for not showing up, because why would you show up and even begin to entertain that? I would have told my son up. Like,
Oh
have
no.
to, I think a very important part for the men is just stopping when you know it's time to stop. And like, women are beautiful and that's all good. And, maybe it's a little mesmerizing. But when she's treating you a certain type of way and you know that's not how you're trying to be treated, then like, fall back. Like, it's plenty of pretty women, and there's plenty of pretty women who have pretty attitudes and pretty lifestyles to go along with their they're pretty outside. Like, they're pretty on the inside and the outside. And when you respond to these women accordingly, like, you can't act like that with nobody, it's gonna force them to switch it up. Like, so it's not that I can be the person who allowed myself to be taken advantage of and then try to take advantage of other people. It's that, no, I was the person who allowed myself to be taken advantage of. I grew up. I recognized, how I could properly protect myself and maneuver through life. And, you can move differently now. You can't say, oh, now it's my turn to be, the villain. Who are you? And so it's like all these women, and granted, like, the men did play you out. Like, they laid down with you. They probably whispered in your ear something great, and they didn't honor those things. But now you can't come out here and be the villain in the streets. Like, I'm just, taking whatever I can get type of thing and leaving these men right where they at. That is not going to get you far. And the
Oh
done it, you could just look at them and see that they've not gotten much. They've not gotten much. And if it doesn't come in the form of, you know, your lifestyle being taken care of in all aspects, then it's not it.
no, T. It is, and a lot of these women, you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to have a certain look. Everybody, I'm trying to get that man. If my ass is bigger, if my eyelashes are big, if my hair is flowing, if my titties banging, if whatever.
Where he
Then you
working?
know, huh,
Where that man work at who wants on Home Depot? Like, where he at? Like, what? Giants? Like, who's attracted to? Because they got to be young. You know what I'm saying? Because no shade to the guys who work there. It's just generally, you're younger. And so perhaps
absolutely,
to things that are more superficial. And so it's like, you an older woman and you talking about you want those things to help you, with your lure, with your attraction, you know, and it's attractive to, young guys who's they're not used to seeing, certain things a certain way and knowing exactly what, they like.
exactly. And because again, they don't know. Because again, they're more, as you said, infatuated with the look. Because the look is going to grab you. But when you get older, it's more than that. Especially when you get somebody you reaching your late 30s, 40s, and 50s, it's more than that. And you have to bring more to the table than just your looks. Because if you're still saying it's my looks at 40, girl, woman, you done lost a lot. Your ass is going to be by yourself until the end.
It's the idea of acquiring our taste, right? For all of us, right? Your taste of style, what you're looking for in a mate, the type of cars you like to drive, the types of homes you want, the type of furniture you select, our taste buds, in a sense, become acquired. In the beginning, you like, the flashy, the big, the things that
Absolutely.
everyone sees,
Yeah.
trending things. But as you
Yeah.
get, your senses mature a little bit.
And you would hope. And
Oh,
some do, a lot of them don't, and it just kind of like, I'm just trying to find this guy. I'm trying to date this guy. And I guess a lot of things. My first issue is a lot of women don't realize where they are on the table on that level.
no, that's not it.
They don't realize when they're on the level, girl. The thing is, they want to go for, I want this kind of guy, this kind of guy, and this kind of guy. They don't understand what motivates that kind of guy they're talking about. Oh, I want the, as we say, the 666. I want the 6 feet tall, six pack, and six figures. You may want that, but he don't want you.
Oh,
Because
or they've never had that, right? So sometimes I just feel like the woman wants that which she's never seen or touched, and so she doesn't exactly know what goes on with it, right?
mm-hmm,
Because Mr. Six Figure probably gives you the lifestyle in your mind um, that your last guy was actually affording you, because life was just set up differently. He was more resourceful. One guy made more money, but he also had more expenses and just a crazier lifestyle, different lifestyle. He liked what he liked. More money you make, more, what are those little expensive toys, especially guys. They love those little, tiny little expensive habits. You're like, what? What did you buy?
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true, and you're not used to that. A lot of women don't aren't used to that type of lifestyle, but you see it, and I hate because the media shows you you gotta have this kind of guy, and it's oh that's what I want. But that guy that you see on TV and on news and shit, that guy don't exist. He's an image of a guy, and you don't understand how much work that guy put into him becoming that unless you're, athlete or something, which you still got to put in work. But if
mhm,
you're a business person or you have some sort of skill, you put in work to get to that level. They ain't
yeah,
somebody just hand it to you. So that guy's not looking for a pretty face. You see pretty faces all the goddamn time. So that doesn't impress him. And that's why I think a lot of women don't understand. Is like I look pretty on guys like they don't give a fuck about that. I've talked to many of them. They don't care about that. They care about
working.
someone's going to add some sort of value to their life because they, they they have or can buy anything they want. So that's not what they need. They want someone they can add to their life to enhance their life and maybe enhance their life too along the way. Not someone where I hear them say just want to take advantage of me because they done made all the bad life decisions. So now they want me and then they want doll up and pretty up and come in my world. They tell me. And I was like, And I just make a little note. So I said, when I
So
talk about this, I could
you
bring it
turned
up to women.
50. I turned 50 and I ruined my life because I didn't have much going on and I can't marry like the high quality man and he can't save my life. Is that what the men are saying? They don't want to be the savior. The job is to be the knight in shining armor. Are you trying to say I'm no longer a damsel at 50?
No,
Is
no,
that
at 50, no, at 50, I am now buying not a
that?
classic.
You said it with your chest, sir. You said it with your no. No, you
No, no, no,
no longer
no.
the damsels in distress. No, you should have had something put for yourself by that point. I think that's fair. I think that's
Yes.
fair. Now, however, there could be exceptions to the rules. So I'm gonna say play on players.
And again, women gotta understand that. I
Right.
don't think teen women really. Oh, excuse me. Oh, go
Mhm.
ahead.
If you can find somebody who's gonna take care of you, then that's what you do. But for the most part, I just
Oh,
I wouldn't want my son to come meeting someone so far in his life and he's worked for so much and you know you've just not worked because it speaks to like what are you really doing with yourself? Are you just making poor choices or are you like an irrational like spender? Like what
mm-hmm.
exactly that's happening here to where you don't have certain things at this age that most people do have because that would be weird.
Absolutely. And especially if you're at that age, at 50 years of age, and you still act like you're 20 something, or your life is acting, you carry your life like you're 20 something. It's like, no, you're 50. You
But
should be more established than that. Then then I'm trying to find this guy and I look good and all this. And then I hear the one time I want him younger. First of all, younger just want to bang your back out. He ain't trying to make you honest. He ain't trying to marry you. He's you're fling at that point. He's not gonna marry you. Why would he marry his mama? Think about it. If you're a woman, you're 50 years old, you're trying to date a guy in his 30s. Why the hell he want? Why would he? First of all, you're way past having a baby stage. So if he's in his 30s, he want a baby. You damn sure can't have that. So what else you bring to the table?
As an older woman,
Yes,
well, I don't. What is it? What is it with the younger guy and the old? Like, do statistic wise, do we know that those relationships even make it like have a chance? Do they even have a chance? Like,
I
what's the chances of somebody marrying a man that's like 10 years their senior? I mean, I do know a couple who's like that where the woman's older by 10 years and they've been married for quite some time, but I know one out of like lots of couples. That's the only one I know. It's just you don't see it a lot.
you don't. You
And
really don't.
I would say you see it so not often that it's enough to disregard it as something that works.
Yes, yes. And you know what, T? Not just put that not shitting on the older women. I also go on to shit on the older guy. First of all, if you're in your 50s and you trying to find somebody and you ain't got shit going on, there's a term that I heard recently called hospice husbands.
Yeah.
Because at that point, for ladies and gentlemen, so you'll know what that is. That's an older guy who basically had done a lot of fuck shit in his life and realized that he's fucked up a lot of women and now he's getting old, his health fucked up, and he's just trying to find someone to take care of him in his old age because he got kids that they don't give a shit about him, and he's just trying to find somebody to take care of his old broke up ass at his later stage in life. So they start looking for younger women and younger people, anybody basically that they can
He
hook
got
on with and hook up with them.
he got benefits. Mm-mm. That man is
You better have some.
he's
God
very
damn.
married, ladies. The hospice husbands are prepared to marry you, settle down quick. Better hope they don't last forever. And keep it moving, sister. Keep it moving. But no, for real, that guy is I don't know if his intentions are poor or if just life just ran by him so fast, right? Because sometimes life does kind of get away from us. But the bottom line is that sometimes the man can start to decline, right? And that's when all of the non-tangible things that the woman brings to the table type of thing. That's when those things really are necessary and needed, especially when the children, we're away from childbearing type of, part of the lifestyle. Um, he realized he really needs a life mate, a partner, somebody who actually cares about him to know, the temperature he likes to suit, the types of popsicles he really likes, like types of sheets he wants on his bed, like the small things in life, things just to make him comfortable. Um, because he didn't invest in that person earlier on. And it just, it hit because yeah, you want to argue with your mate, but you don't want that joker to leave. Like, why are you leaving? That's what the random joint's gonna do after you done pissed you can't piss her off and then want me to stick around and clean out your bedpan. Sir, leave me alone. The hell with you. I'm going back to my own house. Yeah, you deal with your own shit, call your sister. That's what your random ladies. So like you said, the hospice husbands, no, for real. And they really do, they don't want their sister to tend to them. And their children don't, rock out with them too heavily. Um, so, you know, they learning that hard lesson, a little bit of a hard lesson.
And that is so true, T. It's so damn true. And that's why, for us people, we trying to tell you about this there's levels of dating, and we were talking about before the podcast started that people get that shit confused. It's like they do they do shit that you should do in a marriage when you're dating. Judge Judy says it best. She's like, you come in here when we separate your messages. Well, all you gotta do is get married. It's pretty straightforward, half and half. But y'all come in here want to act like you're married, but you ain't married, and then you want me to sell you your shit. I don't
Mhm.
want to do that. Go through the process and see if this person really the person that you should be in. But people really don't know they don't know the process and the steps associated with that. And I was saying to someone earlier, I said, for me, casual dating should be this a time limit. I said, I think between 3 and 6 or 7 months for casual dating, because at that point it's a why you your
Yeah,
face.
it's different casual dating or casual sex. Three to
No,
six months.
casual dating.
There's a
Casual dating is when you first met someone and you trying to figure out if they're the ones for you. It's not a one day thing. It takes some time to figure out if you're
people
compatible.
would have had a baby over the course of 6 months. What are you talking?
And that's the fucking problem. No way in hell you should be having ladies and men don't have a fucking baby by anybody that you just met. I met him last week. We fell in love, and I had sex that week. And damn, if I'm pregnant. You don't know that motherfucker. So what you having the baby? What you fucking with him for? He could have disease, anything. So that what you just said is true. That's why we got the problem now. People doing too much shit is still going through a checklist. I said a checklist to say, hey, does he check off all the boxes that I need to check off? Does she check off all the boxes? Nobody does that. They want to swipe left, swipe left. Oh, she looks good. He looks great. Let's go in and get together.
I needed my light bill paid. He was not about to just, we was gonna have a good time. And then I'm asking for a couple $100 because I didn't have all the money. I had to take off because me and the girls, remember we went to Atlanta last week. It's gonna be a whole rack. I'm telling you, what you talking about a checklist?
Yeah.
No, what you really need to be advising is you can't pay your bills by dating. Like that's what you really need to be advising. Like straight. That's why you think women are. Why is it trending or viral when the woman say, "Don't ask me what I want. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Don't ask. Don't send me good morning. Send me a cash app."
Damn, T. That's where we at right now.
Not right now. Always, because we're like you're shocked that like the man's job is to provide. You're shocked. You just mad because we wanted you to provide in the beginning. That's why you initiated this conversation because you're saying that everything is out of order and it is. And it is, but I'm just showing you exactly how out of order it is. That's all.
Oh,
And that's not my lifestyle because I know everybody on the gram is gonna come for me and they're gonna chop me, my head right clean off my shoulders because all the stuff I did. I was imitating people. That's not me or my lifestyle. I'm
no.
just saying that's what's happening. So when we're talking about dating out of order, people want certain things out of order. And it's not just the man who wants to have sex out of order during the courtship, right? It's
Hmm.
the and who needs certain things and she also needs them a little bit out of order also because her anchors are not necessarily present when you think about if you're working paycheck to paycheck. Perhaps you don't have a father or uncle in your life. Perhaps you don't have a mechanic that you can call up. So when things come up and you're hanging out with this person and you're like reaching, right? Hey, can I get $60 for this? I just want my life easier just because, I see you got a little bit of easier life. Can handle lunch for me today? So you're reaching and the guy gonna start reaching too. Shit. I mean, I feel like, yeah, hey, I'm just saying what it is. I'm that's all I'm doing. Um, so when we talk about it being out of whack, it's not just out of whack because of oops or we out here double checking things that's on that list. It's like, I want a little bit more from, I just want a little bit more from that person. If they got it, if they're willing to give it. And then, reciprocity be what reciprocity be.
That's true. Because as you said, T, when you start asking us for stuff, hair, light, food, because now for us, that's a ticker. Because we're like, oh, if I'm paying, you got to pay.
I mean, and it's not that I don't got to pay, it's that how much more can I ask from you if I ask you, you give me a yes, you know, you ask me, I'll be like, no. So then the next time I go to ask you, you like, no. And I'm like, what? So I might have to give a few yeses, so I understand that I might have to give a few yeses, but I also know that you're not my man, man. You know how they say it. That's not my man.
So that brings up another point. So if that's the case, and you're not my man, so that brings up the other discussion a lot of guys say why they don't want to spend so much money on women because they feel like they're a part of a group. They're
Yeah,
not the main guy. It's like I'm that guy that handles the rent, or there's another guy that's doing something else for him. There's another guy doing something. It's almost like I'm part of a group of men, and that's
listen,
what feels uncomfortable.
the men doing the same shit. The men doing got the same compilation of women. You know what I'm saying? They got their little Thursday chick who, she cooked the barbecue chicken this way. The joint, she frying the fish up that way and throw the joint back like this. Like, come the hell on. Come, they always crying because they can't take advantage over somebody. It's all good when a man has a roster, but because I have a roster also, somehow I'm the villain. Y'all looking at me like I'm Cruella DeVille because my roster outdid your roster, and monetarily I'm like more up than you're up because I played the game better, is what you're saying. Now you're mad. I don't know what to tell the men about that. Your job as a man is to outbeat everybody on my roster. That's it. You're supposed to disrupt the whole situation. Anybody I'm dating, anybody who keep keying in the DMs, all them. That's both of our job is to outbeat all of that, especially if you wanted that to be outdone. So maybe you should volunteer to pay for my breaks, so I don't have to ask Mr. Breakman to those breaks done. Y'all got me cutting up today. Y'all got me cutting up today. But I don't. You should have dropped the half off, little ounce off before you left. I wouldn't have to call that guy up. If you paid the rent and the car note, you see what I'm saying? There would be no other guy if you stepped in it. Strong men know that. They know that. You got to be that woman's everything. You just gonna drop, I'm gonna just pay the light bill. Who's paying the rent? Who's buying the groceries? If it's not you, then it's somebody. Come on. What you as a husband look like? You just paying the light bill? I'll wait. I'll wait. Because your mouth is like you don't know what to do. And I'm not, this is not my lifestyle. I don't live this lifestyle. I got one,
Yep.
and we do what it do. Okay. This
Yes.
is my lifestyle. But I'm not gonna pretend like I don't get it. Yeah, we can't keep coming for the women and pretending like the women are the villains here. We're playing the same game that y'all playing. And then, the women, I don't want to add to the pot that all them other men is. Nah, come on, keep on adding to the pot because you don't want to fill the pot all the way yourself. So you want other people to assist you and add it to, because you don't really mess with me. And in your life, I'm just a placeholder. And that's what the men are not being serious about. That's why they're willing to just give, a little nail money. And you ain't even give hair and nail money. You know I'm a placeholder. What? So somebody else got to pay for my nails because you only paying for my hair. That's an insane concept. That's an insane. Husbands, okay, pay for hair, nails, light bill, rent, car note, investments, kids, clothes, the list goes on. I want some damn ice cream. I'm getting ice cream too. I mean, what? You want to go out to dinner? He's paying for all of that. So it's not that the man can't do it all. Is
Mhm.
that these brothers, because they have rosters, they have decided that they have to spread their money out. And so they can't sew it all into one woman. And so therefore she has a roster too. And she's realized that, hey, I can't ask this man for everything. So I have to get what I can get from him. So he can just do, that's Mr. Carnote. We put a Mr. We got respect. We put a little Mr. in front of y'all name. Mr. Carnote. Okay.
Oh
No,
my God.
I'm fine. I'm off the chain today.
You
I'm
are off
sorry.
the chain today. Oh my God, people, she's here. She's there. She dropping knowledge, dropping pure knowledge. And you said that about who handles stuff. My wife was at work recently, and some lady said, how much you pay for your nails?" She said, "I don't know. My husband pays for it." How much you pay for your dreadlocks, your locks?" "I don't know. My husband pays for it."
I don't
She
know.
said,
Last Lisa seen that
"Uh,
cash app. Like I just, like
So I cover everything because we've been together damn near over 36 years now. Been married for almost 29 years this year. So when you're married and your husband, you do that's what husbands do. That's what men do when you got one on your roster. You don't have a whole roster, just one.
Because you can't
But
afford that many.
no,
That would be,
no.
it's like going out dating and complaining about how much money you're spending on dating. If you were only dating one woman, we would be having a different conversation. You would be sewing into her totally different. You wouldn't be out there $300 this night, $700 that night. Whoa, we got to see. I'm trying to see you every night, or some nights you got to lean back. Like, nah, I'm gonna go hang out with my boys tonight. Yeah, boy, you ain't even out with your boys tonight. Your ass is in the house. You gotta lay low and you can't spend no money this weekend. That's respectable. A man who acts like he's out with somebody else, so he don't have to spend money on me this weekend is respectable. Okay, you that's
That's,
gotta lie. Sometimes just a small.
and it's so true. That what you say is very, very true. Because I was a guy that was emailing me, and he was like, my wife is my girlfriend. She has a separate account, and should we have a separate account and all that? I said, here's the thing: you're not married, so
Mhm.
you should have a separate account. You should have one. She should have one because there's no commitment there. You shouldn't have a joint account if you're just dating. That's
Okay.
stupid to me. Fuck, I do that for? No,
Yeah.
she has her money, you have your money. The moment you get married, you may have an account that you drop money in for bills. You may have your own account. She may have her own account. But then that's when you have that separate account for your own thing. So you're not writing checks on her stuff, and then because the worst thing you want to do is have issues about money. Money will cause more divorces, more fights than anything. So you want to be clear about how you handle your bills. So no, you said y'all only just date each other. No, she shouldn't tell you all the shit she has in her bank account. You shouldn't tell her. Now, once you become committed, that's a different story. But y'all want to play house, and I don't know what we're gonna do. And I asked this dude, T, how long have you been dating? He said 7 years. I said no. I mean, and I asked him dating or committed. He said dating because every time they get to a commitment stage, they get into an argument and they just break up for a little bit and then they come back. And by the way, when they break up, he said I had a couple kids on breakup. When we have what's the term they're
You
using
hate
now?
it. You hate them breakups. You can't stand the breakups. I mean,
I fucking can't stand fucking. We had a break. We had a break. We had a break. What the fuck are rules to the break? When you break, to me, break me, motherfucker, that we break it to figure out if the two of us gonna be getting back together. Not we break it and I'm over here fucking this dude. She's fucking that guy. And
you
all of a sudden she got a baby. I got a baby. But we come back together. What the fuck you come back together for? What? They made a whole nother fucking family while you're on break. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Break the fuck up or stay together.
they
But
did.
don't
They just
dare.
came together.
What the fuck is that? Come on, T. And I hear it all the time. Babies pop up all the time from babies that, we want to break babies. They got break babies all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
So
Those are
what relationship do you really have? You don't really have a relationship if you could leave and do shit like that. Because I would think you wouldn't want to see anybody else. You wouldn't want to confuse the situation if you're saying, I've been with this person for 6, 7 years and I'm trying to decide should I take the next step.
that's not how those people feel. That's
Exactly. That's what we bring some logic to this shit. We bring some logic to this shit. Everybody doing this shit off emotion. That's the problem I have with this shit. You're gonna have emotional. It's relationships. You're gonna be emotional. But fuck, you bring some goddamn logic back into this shit a little bit.
are you more offended over the sex act or are you more offended over the fact that a baby came out of it?
I'm more. I tell you what bothers me more is the whole sex thing. When y'all say it, I don't know what break means in the context of break. Because break to me, if we're trying to work on ourselves, we don't know if we're compatible. For me, that means I need to spend some time to myself. She needs to spend some time on herself. And that doesn't mean that now I start looking at other women. Because now, if I'm looking at other women, then I need to totally break loose. Because if I'm looking at someone else who's going to attract me, and women will attract you, that's just how y'all are. Y'all, you gonna walk around and see some fine woman, and she gonna say something to you, and your mind like, I'm really separate now. So at that point, you say, you know what? I can't do that because I'm trying to see if I want to be over here before I start something over here. Because then you bring somebody else to a situation that they don't know nothing about.
So the idea was that he was going to try out that thing over there to see if it's better than the thing over here. And what you're referencing is actually the people that it is a break loose. Like, no, I'm breaking up with you. We're done because you took me there. Um, and because I realized that I couldn't live without you, or some people couldn't pay their bills without that other person. I needed a nanny. I can't raise these kids without you. Something caused those people that had to drive it back. So it's no longer like a break up. It was just the break now. So, and it's a wide range of what can go on, and what one person can feel like is acceptable for the break is not necessarily what the other person can feel like is acceptable for the really bad out here. It's really bad.
And
Yeah,
and, and that's so true.
yeah,
And all it's doing is causing all kinds of confusion because you're bringing other people into a relationship that didn't have to be in the first place only because if you were honest. I think if you were really honest with yourself and your emotions,
yeah.
man, you can't have it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't go over here and sample shit because I got to give her that booty on this side, but damn, she fine on this side. That's when you may have to man up. You say, listen, if you done with her, be done with her. But don't play a game like, yeah, we done, kind of, sort of, because she do things for me. But
No,
then that's what happens. You have no real commitment.
it's not.
Because really, you do all the marriage shit, but you're not married. And so then all of a sudden, I bought that TV, which really goes bad. I bought that sick couch. I bought that. What the fuck?
Think that the guys want to get rid of the girls. It's that you just never know what's better out there for both. Yeah, I think for both sexes kind of play that game. And so it's like, I can't just settle down with her and I haven't even tasted her. And so it's not that I don't love her, it's just like I wanted to taste some other hers. And it's like, why are you forcing me into this situation that I'm not even like, I don't even want this right now. And so can I go on a break? And then you be like, a break? No, you don't even want me on no break. And then as soon as you go on the break, and then the woman gets on the break, and now it's just like, you know, somehow my actions in the break was I did too much. You know what I'm saying?
And it's that, and you're right. And it's that. It's temptation is always going to be out there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always going to be out there. So you
Yeah,
can't use that as, oh, she tipped me. Women get out the car. You haven't seen shit yet. Wait until it gets warmer, when everything can be exposed and women out there showing all everything. You'll really be tempted.
them hoochie daddy pants going, them hoochie daddy shorts going to be going. What? What? Yeah, now the temptation is real. Um, I think one thing's for sure, two things for certain is we don't talk about temptations. We don't talk about that idea of a break and really what's supposed to be happening if you and your spouse or you and the person you're dating or trying to take to the next level should be doing in that break. I also think that before that break happens, there's um like that breakdown that occurs where you introduce so much disrespect into the situation that it doesn't matter how you break up. You see what I'm saying?
True.
So people are so angry, so furiated, so frustrated, so disrespected that whatever rules to engagement or whatever rules to a breakup that should occur, that's going out the door because I don't respect that person.
Yep.
And even though in your heart or in your space or whatever you want to call it, you might say, like, no, I love that person. But once we start introducing like such a blatant disrespect, I mean, we'll say some crazy things to each other when you're angry, or at least some people will.
Yes.
Everybody's going to go below the belt. But some people can come out and conjure up some crazy stuff, and it can be very hurtful. And in those first um few months or first few weeks, you're not You're not healing from, the hurt somebody put on you. You feeling it. You're
Yep.
literally just in it. And so you out and you reacting from hurt. And we don't talk about those things that happen, at the brink of the bullshit, right? Because that
Yep.
it's such a small piece of the relationship, but it can really define um which way your situation gonna go for a long time.
That's true. That's very true. If you base everything on hurt, and 9 times out of 10, by the time you get to that point, you're both hurt. You done said some
Or
shit to her.
or you normalize, because I hurt you, then I gave you the okay to disrespect me, right? Or I could talk to you any way I want. One guy had sent me over this reel about how the women, because we feel like we're great communicators, we tend to like talk down to the guys. And I said, I don't think it's because we're great communicators. It's because we are feeling like we need to correct you like you're a child. You're acting childish or childlike. And so that's the part that we kind of need to be mindful of, that just because I feel like he's disrespected me or because he's acted in a childlike manner, that doesn't mean that I can respond, like this. It's just because I hurt the man doesn't give him the right to disrespect me, right? Like just because you're upset, right? Oh, we forgot to take the meat out last night, or oh, we forgot to clean up, or oh shit, woke up and the house is all over the place. You're upset. That's not what you want. That's fine, but it's not fine to communicate with me in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Like to imagine you up and you calling your woman out of her name and you just angry, infuriated because stuff is not like how you want it. You're mad, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. So once we start to introduce that disrespect, so you do it once, you do it twice, you do it 3 times, and now you pretty much normalize it, you know. And then so
It's
you
true.
normalizing disrespect. I just start normalizing eating the disrespect, or I normalize reciprocating the disrespect. And either way, it's just going to be a bad situation.
That is so damn true, D. Because again, now it's easy to disrespect each other because you do it on a constant basis. So now you're not even growing anymore because now you spend most of your time hurting each other, one upping each other one way or the other. And so now you get to a point where, why am I in this relationship anyway? Why am I still here? That's what
Hmm.
everybody should ask themselves. And then that's when you need to decide, is this going to be a breakup, or we just take a little time from each other? And as you said, the communication doesn't happen because people just assume, oh, we broke up or we're having a break, but nobody says, okay, breaking up break means we don't have sex with other people, because we want you to have sex with other people, bring other people into this relationship, and that's not the purpose. Now, if you feel that there's no way of this to get better, then this break up. And that means totally break up. That means no sex between y'all, and y'all, if you have kids, you handle that situation. You're now adulting. You now have to become an adult and handle your adult business and move on. But
Hmm.
don't leave, that whole I want my cake and eat it too bullshit. That's childish. Because again, if you have that's not good for you, the man, or the woman. And if you have kids, it's damn sure not good for them. And if you
Right.
go out and mess with somebody else, it's not fair to them because they're thinking you're one way. Because we're not gonna fucking tell them, oh, we're on a break. Do you want to date? I don't know any women. There will be some women that would do that because they don't give a fuck. Just as long as I get my money or something out this deal, I'm good. But most women are like, oh hell no, handle that first. Don't come bring that shit over to me. They don't want that. But
Right.
we as men not gonna say that because we can't. I ain't really sure over here, but you looking good over here. But that means you have to man up. You have to say, you know what? Let me be a man. Separate from this one so I can start anew. But don't have all these little pinnacles all over the place because you fuck everybody's life.
You got all these random attachments, people who's attached to you, and you sitting back pretending like you don't understand why, you know, this woman keeps texting you or she keeps calling you. You don't understand why, your relationship with that past baby mother is like that. Like you was playing for too many people. You have these types of attachments, and you know, you either cut them off properly, or you don't, and then you're gonna sit in the hot seat either way.
Absolutely. And so for you, what's a good dating amount of time to date before you progress to commitment.
What type of commitment?
Kind of like once you get to know each other and know each other's, forget the damn. I see her on a date. She looks beautiful, or she always smelling good. No, no. You hang out together. You do what you gotta do. You wake up with her. She know how you look in the morning. She know how she looks in the morning. Everyone's little ish ish. So that way you kind of comfort with how that person is before you say, you know what, I think I want to get a little bit more serious with her. So
Oh,
time,
you said you wake up with her.
yeah, because a lot of guys say, oh, I saw on a date, I saw on the IG or whatever, she looks good. She's always looking good. You're always looking good, but
Mhm.
that's just that's just your mask. But to see you in like in all your glory, like you sleep with her and you wake up in the morning and say, "Damn, that's how her face looks in the morning," or "This how she
But
smells in
you
the morning."
did it to her.
You haven't committed yet. In fact, to me,
Hey, why
I've been
you with me? And I ain't got
see,
no makeup on. That's crazy.
which
That's,
means at some point you
mm.
got to have some sort of feelings to see, and that's the line,
So how
because when
can
you go
you
from dating to commitment, because dating is its own phase itself.
it's sex and dating.
Now,
See? Mm-mm,
see, to
mm-mm.
me, shit. See, now it gets complicated because going back to how we were brought up, you don't have sex before you date. You go out, you court, so to speak. Of course, people don't court no more like that. So, to me, guys will have sex with anybody. If you give the pussy,
This is not
we're gonna get it. We're gonna take it. So it's not we're gonna turn it down. But if she does submit to you or you submit to her, what do you? It's to me, it's like you now force this to another level from a dating, because now you can't have sex with her and then say, oh, you know what? We just casual dating, because she's gonna feel a certain way. For us, we can casually date and have sex with you. We didn't think twice about it. But
yeah,
for women, I hear that y'all take that a little bit more personally, like, no, we're now committed. God damn it. If I fuck you, you committed.
I feel like what would Mackenzie say in this situation? We you see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
that's the group right there, right? And he was
yeah,
but you make a casual date and have sex, right? Like that, I think that's the trend.
yeah. And I think that's the problem, T, that is confusing things, because from what I hear, women like, I thought we committed. We did all kinds of stuff, and then now he don't want to commit to me. What kind of relationship we have? I don't know. Seems like y'all was in it for the shits and giggles, and now it didn't work out because you weren't compatible here.
The men are liars. They're telling these women one thing when they're like, what y'all call it, pillow talk? Pillow talk?
Yes, yes,
Too
yeah,
much pillow talk. It's way too much. You're making all these commitments in this girl ear during the non-committal stage because you see you said there, oh, we can casual date and to have the this and to do that. No, y'all can't. No, y'all can't. Okay. Y'all be the first ones trying to pour your heart out to the missus. Okay. Oh my God, love her. Oh my God, don't leave me. Don't get and then don't give this up to nobody. This mine's right here. This mine's right here. But you ain't got no commitment right now. But when we was in the bed, you whispered it in my ear that you was all mine and I was all yours. Like, yes, girl, give it back to me. Right? Not that I was delusional. You told me those things. That's what the man does. And not, to all types of women. And yes, we're gonna believe it because I heard it. I heard it. I heard it.
yeah. Y'all will believe that, and especially, and again, and as men, we they get
But
the you to punani. We're gonna say some things, and that's just, again, that goes back to the immaturity that we have. You know, and we are immature. You gotta become a boy and grow up to be a man. And these are just the
Mhm.
immature stage you go through. And especially if you have, like, you don't have an uncle or a father, somebody telling you, who has some sense, mind you, any differently. Boy, don't get tired of it like that, because you ain't mess that girl emotions, and she come back. She always say she'll cut your ass, which means she could cut you, could cut your car, could cut. 'Cause y'all emotional like that, because we
Yeah.
fuck with y'all emotions. So you'll act a certain way. So that that's the thing. We had to really become really more grow up when it comes to things, so that way we could understand. If you go in that direction, you're going to hurt her feelings. You're going to hurt women's feelings because women are going to believe what you say. In fact, it should be what you do, not what you say, because we can say anything.
Well, you believe what he says and then rationalize it off the small things that he does. That's what I see the women are doing. So it's not that he's doing, I'm not believing him doing nothing, right? He's definitely doing something. Now, is he
Hmm?
doing everything that needs to be done for his actions to speak exactly to what his words are doing? No, right? But his actions are doing something. And so as long as they're doing something, the woman is using that to rationalize and backing up the words. And that's
Now,
it.
my
Like,
question is, I'm gonna ask you this:
mhm.
Is that up to the women to see that going on and stop that shit right then and there, or is that the
Yeah,
guy?
that's said it. That's the bullshit. It's we all have to be accountable for how we're moving out here, right? Because I'm gonna lie, you're gonna lie, right?
Hmm?
Um, Only difference is we're not building relationships based off of lies, right? Of course, we're gonna lie in our relationship, and our mates know to look for these lies. Like, shut your lie, Tabitha, you know that ain't right. You know that's a lie. What time you gonna be off of work? Or what time you going into work? Half of that's gonna be a lie. I'm going into work whenever I stroll on, when I'm here. Then I'll be grateful that I ain't tired. When you're leaving. I'm whatever time I leave, I'm strolling up out of here. Or but they know to look for those things because the person who you're long term involved with, they're not going to be naive to the bullshit, right?
Hmm?
Some reason when we're supposed to be our most like cognizant and most like aware when we're meeting people, all of a sudden these butterflies play around in your stomach and you're letting your guard down. And it's like, no, sis, like you can't be naive here. Like you wouldn't let your spouse take advantage of you, but when you're dating, you would let old boy take advantage of you and tell you any old life, right? But if it was
True.
your sister who you know for years, you'd be like, that doesn't sound right, sis. You know that's a lie. But when the man sit there and tell you, oh, I was here, there, then up there, that doesn't sound right, sir. But you still sit there and eat that lie and then, let him just, have a great time with you. And 6 months down the road, you be all in tears, boo hoo, and trying to figure out why the situation didn't work out. You were just eating the lies and the bullshit because it was convenient, I guess. I don't know. But we do have to be accountable for our own self. That's why when we referenced the young lady who wanted to take advantage of the guy with all the meals, it's like she was being taken advantage of at some point in her life. We get it. The job is to not then learn how to take advantage of other people. The job is to then know how to protect yourself as you move and maneuver in the dating realm. The people who are going to come out on top are the people who know how much to give of themselves and how much of themselves to give, right? Like, I wouldn't want to be confused in a situation where I don't know if I'm your girl or nah, you claiming me or nah, and I don't know where my body, is going to be at type of thing. And then I don't know if my body is multiplying. Are you claiming what's happening? Because that's your piece. That's I'm not about to play that game. No, we're gonna be real old school playing around with me. What? What? Ah, Grandpa, you got to get them guns going. This is some you know who baby that? No. Don't play with me. No. I just couldn't imagine how all these women is out here real life allowing these men to straight play with them and then they still lay down with them. Like this man will play with you, not claim your child, cuss you out over child support, which is a bare minimum, and then you still lay down with them. Like that's an insane concept.
And you're absolutely right, T. And it's happening. We see it every single day. And why I keep hating is like, it can't happen to me. And you
Yeah,
shake your head and say, no, it can.
same thing with the men. Can't see your kids.
Yes.
The one time you seen him in 6 months, you didn't have sex with the girl and then pissed her off all over again. So now you can't see your kid for another 6 months. Really?
And that's crazy. And then the kid grows up and then mad. I can't believe he didn't even acknowledge me as as his father. And why would he? He has your name. When were you there? Were you there to take him to games? Were you there to take him to practice? Were you there to take him to doctors? Or were you there to just spend time with him?
Hmm.
Not just I pay for him. Motherfuckers more than just paying for them.
Yeah.
It's your response. It's you. And again, if you don't take care of the second part of you, then don't be prepared to be rejected as you get older and he has his family, he grows up, have kids, and now you're gonna see, damn, I wish I could be part of it. You chose not to be. You chose to be petty. And what I mean by petty is you're gonna be mad at the mother. At this point, doesn't matter between you and the mom. You need to have a relationship with that kid by hook or by crook. Pay your money, do what you gotta do, but always be there with that kid so he knows and understands that at least he can say, I had a father in my life. Because there's so many men that says all the time, if I had a dad, my life would be different. I get emails all the time. I wish I had, y'all, what you guys do helps me look back and don't think like I was wrong. Because people look back at our podcast all the time and says the stuff and says, hey, I appreciate you talking about it. I had this one lady, 60 something years old. She said, y'all did a podcast that touched my heart. I watched it 3 times because somebody finally understood what I said. And that's what we really want y'all guys to understand that, hey, you got to grow up. You just can't blame somebody else because your stuff don't work or something goes wrong. We're adults. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna fuck up. That's just who we are. Men, we're gonna fuck up. Women, we're gonna fuck up. But you have to be accountable for everything you do. So at least, if not for yourself, let your kids see that you're trying to do the right thing. Instead of we have discussion of when is dating, when is not dating. You shouldn't have sex with anybody if you ain't willing to take care of that kid if you fuck around and have a baby by him. Guys, oh man, I didn't realize she was gonna do it. Well, you went through the act, you fool. What the hell you think was gonna happen? Or I ain't had no condom, so I just say I'm gonna do the old pull-out measurement. 9 months later, oh damn, that can't be my kid. Well, you did pull it, so you're a possibility. You may not be, but then you did do the pull-out because you had no condoms. How dumb is that? Why do you even take a risk like that? But guys do it all the time, all the goddamn time.
And they do it all the time with the same type of girl who ain't using the condom with the rest of the guys that she's having sex with.
Oh yes,
So we're
yes,
up in her raw, and then when she pops up not pregnant, I mean pregnant, and you somehow not the father, how could that possibly be? That the other guys who are up on the, you know, chopping block to see if they dad. That I mean, they all was raw dogging this girl. Same like it's like 4 of y'all in a 2 week span who was having sex with the same girl and without a condom. And we want to talk about the girl not having no sense. No, it's a bunch of senseless people in that situation, and it's
absolutely.
our choices. Like we all choose whether we're gonna be senseless or sensible. Like just keeping it real. Unless you got a special need disorder, that's excused. That's fine. But for the most part, after you have at least one child, you understand what happens and how to make a child exactly. Um, so it was either your choice to protect yourself. It's your choice to lay down with her. You know, these are things like, oh, it's my body, my choice. Yeah, it'd be your choice to close your legs and go the hell to a library or to school or something and do something other than laying down with old boy who has nothing other than time. That's why he's here. Because that's Mr. Time. Y'all out here keep on Netflix and chilling, smoking up all the weed. No, go do something else. Like find another brother who's actually like don't have no time because he's doing something with himself. A chick that don't have that much time because she's doing something with herself. Like that's crazy.
See, again, as you always do. You wrap everything we talk into a nice little bowl, and it's perfect. Listen to us, people. Don't get yourself in bad situations because you put yourself in a bad situation. Don't blame her, and her, don't blame him.
Hmm.
Y'all adults. So protect each other. And if it's not working out, I don't give a shit how good the sex is, or how pretty she is. Because if you get tired with her one way or the other, with having a kid or anything else, you're gonna regret it. And we want to live and enjoy our life to the fullest. not make constant mistakes because you want to be out there, you want to get from one stage to the other. Take your time, learn, and just become better. Just become better people. With that, we're going to end this episode of On the Mic with the M.
And team.
People, I want to thank you guys. We are almost at 3,500 subscribers, over 500,000 views and growing. And I want to thank all you guys for this because, again, we started off, we didn't know where it's going to go. Now we're here. So, and we got a lot more coming up. We got the 3-year anniversary coming up next month and some other things coming up. T is going to be doing a show, her own show. I'm talking to her about getting that situated. So we got a lot of great things coming. So sit back and keep watching us. And until next time, people, peace and blessings. And before I end it, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, the little bell button so you get the latest one. And with that, peace and blessings, y'all.